Hi friends, welcome to our YouTube channel Naraj Academy. The main aim of this lecture is to discuss about the mathematics previous year questions of PSUs in a very detailed manner. And if you like the content of our channel, then please do like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon button. So whenever we upload a new video, the direct notifications comes on mobile. If any improvements needed in our new lectures, then please do comment in the comment section. We will definitely include all those improvements in the coming lectures. Please do watch all our videos on the YouTube itself so that our channel can reach to more number of students. I hope you will do it. So let's get started. So now we are going to solve the 11th question. See the question here. See which of the following is true. So out of these four options, we need to see which option is going to get correct. So out of these four options, option C is the correct solution, which is when A is a non-zero column matrix and B is a non-zero row matrix, then the rank of the AB matrix is always equal to 1. So now we will discuss all these options, why option A, B and D are wrong and only option C is why it is correct. So now we will discuss each and everything in detailed manner. So now we are going to discuss each and every option in a detailed manner. See, the option A, they are given that the product of the eigenvalues of a matrix is equal to the trace of the matrix. It is a wrong one because the determinant of the matrix is equal to the product of the eigenvalues, whereas the trace of matrix A is equal to the sum of the eigenvalues. But in the question they are given in the reverse manner, so therefore option A is the wrong. Now see the option B, the eigenvalues of a skew symmetric matrix is real. It is wrong because the eigenvalues of symmetric matrix and the Hermitian matrix are always purely real. It may be same, it may be different, or it may be positive or negative. So therefore, but the eigenvalues of skew symmetric and the skew Hermitian matrix are 0 or purely imaginary. But in the option B, they are given wrong. So therefore, option B is the wrong. And see the option C here. If A is a non-zero column matrix and B is a non-zero row matrix, then the rank of AB is equal to 1. The question they have given that A is a non-zero column matrix, means is a column matrix, means it is only one vector, so rank will be is equal to 1, and the rank of matrix B, in the question they have given B is a row vector, so row vector is nothing but it's a single vector, so therefore we can say the rank is equal to 1. But if you are going to do the matrix multiplication of these two vectors, then rank of A will be always A into B is always less than or equal to minimum of the rank of A comma rank of B. It's a basic property in the matrices. So therefore rank of A is 1 and rank of B is 1. So therefore minimum value of 1 comma 1 is nothing but is 1. So the rank should be always less than or equal to 1. Means it can be either 0 or it can be either 1. But here AB is nothing but, because AB is a non-zero matrix, definitely for non-zero matrix rank cannot be 0. So therefore this is wrong. So only 1 is going to get remain. So therefore we can say that the rank of matrix AB is equal to 1, because AB matrix is a non-zero matrix. For any non-zero matrix, rank cannot be equal to 0. So because of that reason, so we are going to leave with only one option. So therefore rank of AB matrix is equal to 1. Statement 4 is here. A system of linear non-homogeneous equations is consistent if and only if the rank of the coefficient matrix is lesser than or equal to the rank of the augmented matrix. See in the question basically Ax is equal to B, it is called as a non-homogeneous equations, because when B is not equal to 0, we are going to call it as a non-homogeneous equations. This is going to consistent, means this we are going to find all these values unknown variables only if it is a consistent, means we are going to get the solution only when the rank of A is equal to the rank of augmented matrix. Then if this is the condition only, we are going to get the rank, then only we are going to get the unknown variables, or we are going to get the exact solution. So therefore if it is equal to the number of unknown variables, then we are going to get the unique solution, and if it is less than the number of unknown variables, then we are going to get the infinite solutions. It simplifies, means we are going to get the solutions, but inconsistent means whenever the rank of A is not equal to rank of augmented matrix, then we can say there is no solution is going to exist for these non-homogeneous equations. But in the question they are given wrong, so therefore we can say this Ax is equal to B non-homogeneous equations, there will be a solution or consistent only when rank of A is equal to rank of augmented matrix. Inconsistent means the rank of A is not equal to the rank of augmented matrix. If these both are equal to the number of unknown variables, then we say there is a unique solution. But if it is less than the number of unknown variables, then we are going to get a infinite number of solutions. So out of these four options, option C is the correct solution of this question, and I explained why option A, option B and option D are wrong. So now we are going to solve the 12th question. See the question here. Given that a matrix A. So you can see the matrix A, it is basically a diagonal matrix. So now here we need to evaluate what is a cube minus 6a square plus 11a minus 10i. We need to figure out what is this matrix, what is the resultant of this, we need to figure out. So out of these four options, option C, which is minus 4i, is the correct solution of this question. So let's solve this numerical. See, in the question they are given this matrix, it is basically a diagonal matrix because only the diagonal elements are non-zero, remaining everything is 0. And also we have to find what is this equivalent value we need to figure out. This overall value, this overall matrix multiplication, this simplification is going to give you what is that value we need to figure out. So let me assume this is equal to some x. So I want to find the value of this x. So now what I am going to do is I am going to find the characteristic equation of this matrix. I am going to figure out, which is determinant of a minus lambda is equal to 0. So if you have to find what is the a minus lambda I, means just go for the diagonal elements minus lambda. You are going to get 1 minus lambda 0 0, 0 2 minus lambda 0, 0 0 3 minus lambda. You have to now do the determinant is equal to 0. So therefore 1 minus lambda into 2 minus lambda into 3 minus lambda minus 0, and this is 0 and this is also 0 is equal to 0. So now if you do the simplification of this one, we are going to get 1 minus lambda into 2 minus lambda into 3 minus lambda is equal to 0. If you further do the multiplication of this, all the three components, we are going to get lambda cube minus 6 lambda square plus 11 lambda minus 6 is equal to 0. So this is called as the overall characteristic equation of this matrix A. So same thing I have written here. See, by Cayley-Hamilton theorem, we know that the matrix is going to satisfy its own characteristic equation. So therefore, wherever lambda is there, you can replace with the original matrix A. So therefore, a cube minus 6a square plus 11a minus, this is a 6. So but now we have to write in terms of matrices. So you have to write here identity matrix is equal to, this is not a 0, this is basically a null matrix. But here it is a scalar number, but here now we are going to write in terms of matrices, then it will become 0 matrix. So therefore now what I am going to do is I am going to take this 6i to the right side, this minus 6i I am going to take it to the right side, I am going to get 6i. So therefore a cube minus 6a square plus 11a is equal to 6i, but x is equal to, this is the expression, so same thing I have written here, a cube minus 6a square plus 11a is equal to 6i. So I am going to write this one as 6i minus 10a is nothing but minus 4i. So therefore we have figured out the value of x is minus 4i. So therefore minus 4i is the correct solution of this question. Basically it is a matrix of minus 4 times the identity matrix. It is the correct solution of this question. So now we are going to solve the 13th question. See the question here. The differential equation satisfying, which is y is equal to a into e to the power of 3x plus b into e to the power of 2x is, means we have to find the differential equation from this equation we need to figure out. So out of these four options, option B is the correct solution of this question. So let's solve this numerical. See, now I am going to solve this question by the two methods. So therefore the method one is here. This is the equation y is equal to a into e to the power of 3x plus b into e to the power of 2x. So now we have to find what is the differential equation of this equation we need to figure out. So these are the four options they have given. So first thing is here, going to find what is that dy by dx. So dy by dx is equal to here 3a into e to the power of 3x plus 2b into e to the power of 2x. And now I want to do the another one more time differentiation, which is d square y by dx is equal to 9a into e to the power of 3x plus 4b into e to the power of 2x, because d by dx of e to the power of ax will be is equal to a into e to the power of ax. So by using this property I have did the differentiation. So now we have to substitute dy by dx and d square y by dx square in these equations, and we have to see which is going to satisfy this property. So therefore now you can see out of these four options I am going to take the option B, and I am going to substitute this d square y by dx square and dy by dx and y, and I am going to check whether this is going to give you answer 0 or not. If it is going to give you answer 0, then is the correct solution, otherwise it's the incorrect. So I am going to take the option B and I am going to do the cross check whether this is the correct exact equation or not. So then what I am going to do is d square y by dx square is, this is the equation, so I have substitute here, and minus y into dy by dx is, this is the equation, I have substitute here, plus 6 into the value of y is, this is the equation, is equal to 0. So if I do the simplification, this value should be equal to 0, then only it is a correct equation, otherwise it will be incorrect. So therefore now if I do the simplification, finally I am going to get 15a into e to the power of 3x minus 15a into e to the power of 3x plus 10b into e to the power of 2x minus 10b into e to the power of 2x. So these two are going to get cancelled and these two are going to get cancelled. So finally 0 is equal to 0. So therefore LHS is equal to RHS. So therefore we can say option B is a correct solution. But if you substitute this d square y by dx square and dy by dx and y in the remaining equations, definitely you are going to get non-zero result. So therefore we can say A, C, D are the incorrect. Only option B is the correct solution. See, now I will discuss the another method which you can solve in a very easier manner. So now we are going to solve the same question by the method 2, which is y is equal to a into e to the power of 3x plus b into e to the power of 2x. This is in the general format of y is equal to a into e to the power of m1 x plus b into e to the power of m2 x. By comparing, we are going to get m1 is equal to 3 and m2 is equal to 2. So these are the roots. So therefore general equation will be minus m1 into d minus m2 is equal to 0. We know the value of m1, we know the value of m2. Substitute here, we are going to get d minus 3 into d minus 2 is equal to 0. So therefore if we do simplification, we are going to get d square minus 5d plus 6 is equal to 0. But d is nothing but d by dx. So therefore the general expression of the differential equation is f of d into y is equal to 0. So f of d is nothing but which is d square minus 5d plus 6, and this is a y is equal to 0. But d is nothing but capital D is equal to small d by dx. So replace this one, we are going to get d square by dx square minus 5 d by dx plus 6 into y is equal to 0. If you take y inside, we are going to get d square y by dx square minus 5 into dy by dx plus 6y is equal to 0. So this is the differential equation of this equation we are going to get. See, always remember the order of the differential equation is equal to the number of constants are going to present in the solution. See, the order of this differential equation is 2. So therefore the number of constants will be also 2. So therefore it requires two initial conditions to figure out the value of the A and B. So this is the correct solution of this question. So now we are going to solve the 14th question. See the question here. If the matrix A, this is the matrix they have given, is its own adjoint, then the value of x will be. So in the question they are given that the matrix A itself is equal to the adjoint of that matrix. Then we have to find what is the value of x we need to figure out. So out of these four options, option B is the correct solution of this question, which is 3. So let's solve this numerical. See, in the question they are given the matrix, this is the matrix A, and also they have told that the matrix A itself is equal to the adjoint of the matrix. Then based on this condition, we need to find what is the value of the x we need to figure out. The basic rule in the mathematics, which is A into adjoint of matrix A is equal to the determinant of that matrix into identity matrix. So but A is equal to adjoint matrix, so same thing we are going to take, because adjoint of A is also equal to A. So therefore same matrices we are going to multiply is equal to determinant of that matrix into, because it is a 3 by 3 matrix into 3 by 3 matrix, again we are going to get 3 by 3. So therefore identity matrix is also 3 by 3. So now I am going to take the third component, or we can say this is called as the here A13 component I am going to take. So here also I am going to do the third component, means we have to go for the first row on the third column. So therefore minus 4 into minus 3 and minus 3 into 1 and minus 3 into x. So therefore we are going to get the third component of this matrix, or simply we can say A13 component we are going to get in this matrix, means first row into third column is equal to, here also we are going to take this, because we are going to equate the corresponding elements. So therefore here also we have to take the A13, which is mod A into 0 is again 0. So therefore it is equal to 0. So if you do the simplification, we are going to get minus 4 into minus 3 is 12, minus 3 into 1 is minus 3, this is minus 3x is equal to 0. So 12 minus 3 is 9, minus 3x is equal to 0. So 9 is equal to 3x. So x is equal to 9 by 3 is nothing but 3. So therefore x is equal to 3 is the correct solution of this question. See, now you can take any one component, still you are going to get the result, but I have taken this 0 because we can reduce the amount of simplification to get the answer in a easier manner. So now we are going to solve the 15th question. See the question here. The value of the 1 plus 2i by 3 minus 4i plus 2 minus I by 5i, where I square is equal to minus 1 is. So basically we have to simplify these complex numbers and we have to get the resultant value. So out of these four options, option D, which is minus 2 by 5, is the correct solution of this question. So let's solve this numerical. So now we have to simplify this complex number, we need to simplify. So what I am going to do is, the first part I am going to do the rationalization with respect to 3 plus 4i by 3 plus 4i, and for the second term I am going to do the rationalization with respect to 5i by 5i. So if we do the multiplication of these two things, we are going to get 1 into 3 is 3 and 1 into 4i is 4i, 2i into 3 is 6i and 2i into 4i is minus 8 by a minus b into a plus b is a square minus b square, which is 3 square minus 4i whole square, but I square is minus 1, so therefore 3 square plus 4 square you are going to get. So same thing you have written, 3 square plus 4 square, and here do the multiplication. We are going to get 2 into 5i is 10i, and minus I into 5i is nothing but minus 5i square, but I square is minus 1, so therefore you are going to get plus 5 by 5i whole square, which is nothing but minus 25, so therefore minus 25. So if you do simplification, 3 minus 8 is minus 5, 6 plus 4i is nothing but 10i by 3 square plus 4 square is 25, plus this, take the minus to the numerator, we are going to get minus 5 minus 10i by 25. Take the LCM as 25, you are going to get minus 5 plus 10i minus 5 minus 10i. So plus 10i and minus 10i are going to get cancelled, and minus 5 and minus 5 is minus 10. So minus 10 by 25. So 5 2s are 5 5s are. So the solution is minus 2 by 5 is the resultant value. So therefore this value will be equal to minus 2 by 5. So this is the correct solution of this question. Just we did the concept of rationalization for each and every term, and then we did the simplification, and finally we are going to get the solution, which is minus 2 by 5. So now we are going to solve the 16th question. See the question here. For the vectors a bar is equal to 3i cap minus 2j cap plus 4k cap, and b bar is equal to 2i cap minus k cap, then what is the value of the a bar cross b bar dot product of a bar we need to figure out. So out of these four options, option A, which is 0, is the correct solution of this question. So let's solve this numerical. See, in this question they are given two vectors, a bar and b bar. A bar is equal to 3i cap minus 2j cap plus k cap, and b bar is equal to 2i cap minus k cap. So now we have to find what is the value of the a bar cross b bar dot product of a bar. So you can see clearly a bar cross b bar is nothing but it's a vector. Vector dot product of again vector is a scalar quantity. So you are going to get basically a scalar value. Always the dot product is going to satisfy the commutative property, which is a bar dot b bar is equal to b bar dot a bar. So therefore you can go for any of the process, still you are going to get the same result. So same thing I am going to do, which is the I am going to write in the reverse manner for the dot product. So therefore I am going to get a bar dot of a bar cross b bar. So here this is basically a scalar number. It's going to give you a pure number. So now this is called as the, you are going to get basically the amount of volume enclosed by the three vectors. Suppose there is a vector a bar which is b bar and c bar. So simply if a bar is equal to a1 I cap and plus a2 j cap plus a3 k cap, and similarly this is b1 I cap plus b2 j cap plus b3 k cap, and similarly c bar is equal to c1 I cap plus c2 j cap plus c3 k cap. Then if you want to know what is the value of the a bar dot of b bar cross c bar, this is equal to just the basic formula, which is take the value of the matrix A values, which are A1, A2, A3 in the first row, then go for the values of the B1 matrix for the B matrix, which are the B1, B2, B3, and similarly for the matrix C, take the values in the third row. So therefore you are going to get C1, C2, C3. So if you find the determinant of this matrix, you are going to get the value of this one. Same process we have to do for apply for this one also. The first vector values are the 3 minus 2 1. So 3 minus 2 1. Similarly same the again with same vector, which is a bar. So you have to consider the same values again, 3 minus 2 and 1. Now we have to go for the matrix B or vector B bar. So therefore 2 0 minus 1, 2 0 minus 1. So now we have to find the determinant of this one. So you can see clearly the first row and the second row are same. So whenever the two identical rows or two dependent rows are going to present, then definitely the determinant value will be always equal to 0. It is a basic rule in the determinants. So therefore even if you do the determinant also, finally you are going to get the solution as 0. So therefore 0 is the correct solution of this question. So always in any matrix, if you want to find the determinant of any matrix, if any two rows or two columns are identical or going to depend in some manner, then definitely the determinant value will be always equal to 0. So now we are going to solve the 17th question. See the question here. The nth partial sum of the infinite series is, so they are given some infinite series and they are asking only the nth sum of the, or you can say the nth partial sum, means up to n terms, what is the sum we need to figure out. So out of these four options, option C is the correct solution of this question, which is n by n plus 1 is the correct solution of this question. Means only up to n terms we need to find what is the value of the sum we need to figure out. So out of these four options, option C, which is n by n plus 1 is the correct solution of this question. So let's solve this numerical. See, they are given basically an infinite series. So out of this infinite series, only we have to find only the sum up to n terms we need to figure out. So therefore, Sn is equal to, this is the summation we need to figure out. So I can write 1 by 1, 1 into 2 is nothing but I can write 1 by 1 minus 1 by 2. So therefore, if you take LCM, which is 2, so 2 minus 1 is again 1. So you are going to get this same term. And similarly, 1 by 2 into 3, I can write which is 1 by 2 minus 1 by 3, because if you take LCM, which is 2 into 3, so therefore this is 3 and this is minus 1. So therefore 1 by 2 into 3. So same thing we are going to get. Similarly, 1 by 3 into 4 also I can write which is 1 by 3 minus 1 by 4, because the LCM is 3 into 4. So this value is 4 and this value is 3. So therefore 1 by 3 into 4. Same thing you are going to get. So up to the nth term is again also I can write which is 1 by n minus 1 by n plus 1, because the LCM is n into n plus 1. So this term is n plus 1 and this is n. So this is going to get cancelled. So finally you are going to get the same term. So I have did in a simplified manner. I have written like this. Suppose if you are going to take the first two terms, this plus of and minus of are going to get cancelled, then you are going to get initial value and the final value. Means in the two terms you are going to get the initial value and the final value. But if you are going to take the three terms, then this plus 3, 1 by 3 and minus 1 by 3 are going to get cancelled. Again you are going to get the initial value and the final value up to 3 terms. But if you are going to take the n terms, then definitely this value is also get cancelled, this value is also going to, if you take the similar process up to n terms, this value is also going to get cancelled. With the same procedure you are going to get initial value and the final value. So therefore 1 minus 1 by n plus 1. So therefore now if the simplification LCM is n plus 1, so n plus 1 minus 1. So if we take this one, n plus 1 minus 1 by n plus 1. So plus 1 minus 1 are going to get cancelled. So finally you are going to get n by n plus 1. So therefore simply we can say the sum of n terms, of this expression, which is n by n plus 1. So this is the exact solution of this question. So now we are going to solve the 18th question. See the question here. A circle C2 is concentric with the circle C1. The equation of circle C1 is x square plus y square minus 4x plus 6y minus 12 is equal to 0, and as a radius twice that of C1. The equation of circle C2 is, so basically in the question they are given circle C1 equation, and also the C2 and C1 circles are concentric, means the center point is same, but the radius of the circle C2 is twice that of the circle C1. Then we have to find what is the equation of the circle 2 we need to figure out. So out of these four options, option B is the correct solution of this question. So let's solve this numerical. So in the question they are given that they are given the circle equation of C1, and also they are told that circle C2 is also concentric with the circle C1, means the center point of C2 is also same, but only thing is the radius of the C2 is twice and that of the circle C1. Then we have to find what is the value of the, what is the equation of the circle C2 we need to figure out. So circle C1 equation, which is x square plus y square minus 4x plus 6y minus 12 is equal to 0. I have already assumed that the center is equal to a comma b and the radius of the circle C1 is r. So the general equation of any circle is x minus a whole square plus y minus b whole square is equal to r square. So if you expand this general equation, we are going to get in this format, which is x square plus y square minus 2x minus 2by plus a square plus b square minus r square is equal to 0. So now I am going to compare these two equations, equation 1 and equation 2, to get the values of this unknown values a, b and r. So by comparing these two equations, I am going to get minus 2a is equal to minus 4, minus 2b is equal to plus 6, and a square plus b square minus r square is equal to minus 12. So minus 2a is equal to minus 4, so therefore a is equal to 2, and minus 2b is equal to 6, so therefore b is equal to minus 3. So now I know the value of a, and also I know the value of b, so I can substitute in this equation to figure out the value of the r. So therefore a is 2, b is minus 3, minus r square is equal to minus 12. So if you solve this equation, we are going to get r is equal to 5. So therefore we know the value of a, b and r. So therefore we can say simply the for circle C1, the center A point is 2 comma minus 3 with a radius of 5. But we have to find the equation of circle C2. Center point is same, but the radius of the circle C2 is twice than that of the circle C1. So therefore the general equation of the circle C2 is x minus a whole square plus y minus b whole square is equal to, but the radius is now is twice the previous one, so 2r whole square. But a is equal to 2, b is equal to minus 3, substitute here, and r is equal to 5. So substitution everything. If you solve this general equation of circle C2, we are going to get the value of the equation of the circle C2, which is x square plus y square minus 4x 4x plus 6y minus 87 is equal to 0. So this is the exact circle equation of the circle C2. See, there is also some more important formula regarding circles, which is the general equation of a circle can be in this manner also, which is x square plus y square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c is equal to 0. Then the center will be minus g comma minus f, and the radius will be under root over g square plus f square minus c. See, by using this property also we can find the solution, but I have did in the another method, which is a general method to figure out the value of the equation. But you can solve the same question by this method also, still you will get the same result. So for x square plus y square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c is equal to 0, for this equation of a circle, the center point is minus g comma minus f, and the radius will be under root over g square plus f square minus c. So now we are going to solve the 19th question. See the question here. Cos theta can be expressed as, or we can say it can be represented by which equation? So out of these four equations, out of these four options, option C is the correct solution of this question. So let's solve this numerical. So basically the Euler function, which is e to the power of I theta is equal to cos theta plus I sin theta. But if you are going to replace theta by minus theta, means cos of minus theta is again cos theta, but sin of minus theta is minus sin theta. So therefore e to the power of minus I theta will become cos theta minus I sin theta. So now this is equation 1 and equation 2. So I am going to add these two equations. So if you are going to add equation 1 and equation 2, we are going to get that e to the power of I theta plus e to the power of minus I theta is equal to, these two terms are going to get cancelled. So we are going to get 2 cos theta. So cos theta is equal to e to the power of I theta plus e to the power of minus I theta by 2. So this is the correct solution of this question. Sometimes they may ask what is the value of sin theta, means you have to go for the subtraction of equation 1 and equation 2. Then we are going to get e to the power of I theta minus e to the power of minus I theta. These two are going to get cancelled. Now this will become 2i sin theta. So therefore sin theta is equal to e to the power of I theta minus e to the power of minus I theta by 2i. So this is the sin theta expression. So there is a high chance in the next PSU examinations they can ask the value of the sin theta. Basically these two are very easy questions. So now we are going to solve the last question of this lecture. See the question here. The value of C which makes an angle 45 degree between the vector A and the vector B bar. So therefore in the question they are given vector A bar and vector B bar. So we have to find the value of C such that the angle between them A bar and B bar is 45 degree. So out of these four options, option D, 0 is the correct solution of this question. So let's solve this numerical. See in the question they are given the two vectors A bar and B bar, which is A bar is equal to I cap plus C j cap and B bar is equal to I cap plus J cap, and also they are given that the angle between these two vectors is 45 degree. So based on these conditions we have to find what is the value of C, we need to figure out. So vector A bar and vector B bar, theta is the angle between them. So therefore the dot product of two vectors is equal to amount of vector A bar into amount of vector B bar into cos theta. So now I want to do what is the dot product of these two vectors, means you have to do the multiplication of the corresponding elements, which is 1 into 1 plus C into 1. So therefore 1 into 1 plus C into 1, and we have to find what is the length of A bar, which is under root over 1 square plus C square, and the length of B bar is under root over 1 square plus 1 square into cos theta. Theta is equal to 45 degree, so cos of 45. So this is 1 and this is C is equal to under root over 1 plus C square into this value we are going to get root 2 into cos 45 is 1 by root 2. So root 2 is going to get cancelled. So finally we are going to get 1 plus C is equal to under root over 1 plus C square. So now I am going to do the squaring on the both sides. Then I am going to get, which is 1 plus C whole square is equal to 1 plus C square. And if you do the expansion of this one, which is 1 plus C square plus 2C is equal to 1 plus C square. If I am going to take 1 plus C square to the RHS, we are going to get minus 1 minus C square. So therefore these plus 1 minus 1 and C square and minus C square are going to get cancelled. So it will be equal to 0. So therefore 2C is equal to 0. So therefore C is equal to 0. So therefore you are going to get C is equal to 0 is the correct solution of this question. By this lecture, we have successfully completed the 20 questions in a very detailed manner. And if you like the content of our channel, then please do like, share and subscribe our YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon button. So whenever we upload a new video, the direct notices comes on mobile. If any improvements in our lectures, then please do comment in the comment section. We will definitely give all those improvements in the coming lectures. Please do watch all our videos in the YouTube itself, so that our channel will grow and it will reach to the more number of students. Thank you so much for watching this lecture. Keep smiling, take care, and bye bye.